In today's episode, the Mercedes A-Class Piccadilly Special Edition. Hello and welcome back to Quarterlight, your car brochure channel, where we look at car brochures from around the world for the 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s and sometimes beyond those dates as well. So that might interest you and you're interested in cars in general or car brochures, then please consider subscribing. It is all completely free. Anyway, back to today's episode. Yes, we're looking at a special edition. Special edition episodes usually come on a Saturday for the regulars. Will always know that, but I'm sure for everyone else who just tunes in for an episode, days of the week don't really matter. But yes, we quite often do special edition car brochures, so let's throw that one on the board and have a look at this Piccadilly Special Edition for the A-Class. The car itself, I always remember when it was in sort of like the design process and when it eventually arrived, I always thought it was a very interesting design. I actually, I don't know if I should be admitting to this, but I always found it a very interesting shape actually. Very famously, of course, failed some of the safety tests when it first came out. I think it was the ELK test where it was a little bit, did it fall over or nearly fell over? So they had to, put some more stability electronics on it, and I think it lost some of the interesting feel and became a little bit of a bland car to drive after that. But of course, we have to think safety first. In production from October 1996 to May 2004, and of course, what we have to think about that in some countries, those dates were of course different. So that makes it quite late for Quarterlight. I think this brochure is right at the end, when we throw special editions to clear them out of the showroom. This particular brochure is dated 2004. Let's clear the old cars out for new, of course. And what did we get next? Well, we did get a second generation version of the A-Class. A little bit of a less interesting design, you could say, before eventually the A-Class became, in the third generation, like a conventional looking vehicle altogether. But yeah, an interesting car though, all the same. I always found the first generations pretty interesting design overall. But anyway, enough waffle. I've opened this brochure up to let's see what's inside and let's see what this particular model is all about. Interestingly, as it's quite often in these smaller brochures, it does open up into this sort of interesting little design, as you can see, with the price on there and everything, and even the colour choice. At the top here it says, for less than you thought. So again, let's get rid of these old models, let's clear them out. Text is tiny, but we'll read it because there isn't really that much when you look at the brochure as a whole. So let's just see what this is describing it as. So it starts talking about this as get behind the wheel and you'll see that there's even more to the A-Class Piccadilly than meets the eye. It offers all the fun and versatility that you've come to expect from the A-Class, but with a few little extras that will make it even more of a joy to own and drive. As always, Mercedes-Benz engineering excellence is part of the package, and it's wrapped up in styling that turns heads wherever it goes. Whether you are nipping around town or out and about in the countryside, peace of mind comes in the shape of responsive handling and a long list of safety features, such as the anti-lock braking system and brake assist, and the electronic stability program with acceleration skid control. I think they were all part of those things they had to put on the A-Class to make it not so tippy-turny. Then there are those all-important little extras to consider. The A-Class Piccadilly comes with 16-inch alloy wheels and a choice of two exclusive metallic paint finishes, Alpine Blue and Tropic Black. Inside you can expect a radio CD player with 6 speakers, leather trimmed steering wheel and gear shift, and air conditioning as standard. All of this starting from just $14,680 on the road. Then the usual brochure garb of to find out more about the A-Class Piccadilly or to arrange a test drive, please contact your local Mercedes-Benz retailer. Sadly, the deal is over. And then the little image to one side. Like I say, I find the design interesting on these first generations. Look at those interesting wipers. Has Hubnut ever test drove one of these? I wonder if he likes the unusual wiper pattern that would promote. It looks like it's kind of like a clap hand wiper pattern, which is a little bit unusual, but yeah, typical. Well, actually not that typical really for a special edition. You get lots of equipment on it, don't you? They're really trying to clear these out of the showroom. Pretty much everything you really would have wanted on a small car at the time. It's just a shame not more interesting to drive really. And of course, presumably this colour, well, it's certainly not black, so it must be alpine blue. So as we open the brochure up again to make it the full length, let's just have a look at some of these key feature images. There is your little alloy wheel design. I quite like it, although I must admit, maybe this is just me, I'm not a fan of low profile tyres. I'm a bit old fashioned. I like those big chunky tyres of the 70s and 80s, so perhaps that doesn't excite me too much. A little bit of a look at the controls. Could argue a bit of an unusual position in the 2000s to position some of these sort of wipers in the sort of centre stalks. You know, Citroen of old wouldn't approve, of course, of you reaching to the centre console to get switches. Another view of those alloys, a little bit of a indicators in the door mirrors there. I quite like indicators in door mirrors, but every time I see them I always think how expensive that to replace. Look at the gear lever design and the vent controls. But the styling of the windows, like I say, I think those shapes are quite interesting. A nice sort of Mercedes steering wheel, and then I think it just gives you a little bit of a back shot, and obviously that is going to be your tropic black colour. Then when we move to the right hand side, we get another little image of this front side shot, and again it's advertising it as the A-Class Piccadilly from just $14,680. Now it says from just, does that mean we can get a few extras on there? Possibly. Moving down to some of the equipment that it does come with. So we get those 16-inch exclusive 5-sport alloy wheels, a choice of exclusive metallic paint colours, alpine blue or tropic black, air conditioning, exterior badging, leather trim steering wheel and gear shift, radio, single CD player with 6 speakers, velour floor mats with Piccadilly logo. A couple of the paint colours that really do not show up on camera, but the 2 colours are alpine blue, tropic black, and it's kind of like quite nice actually. It's quite a sort of shiny paint type finish, so it's actually quite good in the brochure, but like I say, very hard to decipher the 2 colours here, but we've looked at the colours in the cars themselves. And then we get the small print about that price. So on the road price, these prices reflect the maximum road fund licence and the £510 additional costs necessary to put your car on the road. Included are a standard UK delivery charge, £405 including VAT, new vehicle registration fee, £38, number plates and a full tank of fuel. And then folding the brochure all the way back, hoping you get more specifications, but you get absolutely nothing. But that's a sign of the times as we get to the year 2000. They're not throwing all those specifications at you, sadly. But the small print, we of course get Mercedes-Benz and the nice emblem. And then tells us information correct at time of going to press, 1st of January 2004, and specifications are subject to change without prior notice. Colours may differ slightly from those shown, owing to the limitations of the print process. We've got the little code for the brochure, MB for Mercedes-Benz 3130104, just to show you how that code shows you the dates. And then we've got the address there, Daimler Chrysler UK Limited, Tongwell, Milton Keynes, postcode, general inquiries number, and even the website. Wow, we're really moving on in Quarterlight, although we say this is a pretty modern car for Quarterlight, but it is 2004. It is over 20 years old. It's hard to believe. So there we go, a relatively modern car in quotations here on Quarterlight, the Mercedes-Benz Special Edition Piccadilly for 2004. We always like talking about special editions on the channel. I don't know how you feel. Some of them are stupid, some of them are quite nice little extras, but here, who we're fooling? We're trying to get rid of this car before the next generation comes out. I hope everyone saw that, but actually not badly equipped really for the time. But thank you so much for watching today. Like I say, if you've not done already done so, please do consider subscribing. That is always completely free, keeps you in touch with the channel, and you'll be able to see more marvellous special editions like this one. And of course, lots of episodes through the week. Fridays is Ford Friday, always a Friday. Wednesday, a general episode, and Mondays is generally a look back episode of some brochure that we may have looked at in the past. But we'll end it as we always do by saying thank you so much to everyone who has watched this episode to the end. Big thank you to our subscribers. Always very much appreciate your support and fantastic comments. If you're new, have a look at the comments. Very knowledgeable viewers we have. You can, of course, become a member as well now if you want. Very small fee, and there's options for different amounts you want to pay. You all get the same thing, but that's really how much you want to support the channel. A big thank you to the members. They really keep us going for what is a very tiny little channel with not many subscribers. We don't get a ton of views. It's a bit of a niche subject, isn't it, really, overall, but I love how interested our viewers are. I do appreciate every single one of you. So yeah, if you become a member, you don't get a great deal. You get an extra 2, 3, 4, even maybe up to 8 minutes, a little bit of a video showing where we're up to, what we're looking at in the future. But like I say, you don't get a lot, but at least I try and give you something, because that is a big thank you. You'll see a couple of boxes popping up. They'll be for other episodes you can view. We've got over 600 episodes, so if you're new, have a look in the back catalogue. I'm sure there is something you would like to see. But overall, thank you for watching. Please do take care. We'll see you again very soon. All the best, and goodbye.